Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. We got a packed house tonight. We got UFC legend Chuck Liddell in the house. Welcome back, Chuckles.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I don't think people usually call him Chuckles.
He's a lovable hero, you know? Just a soft, innocent man.
How much longer do you think you got safety-wise, just being able to call him whatever you want?
I measured his reach online versus how far the desk is.
71 inches, right?
Yeah.
No, 75 inches. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's longer than it should be.
It's 76.
But it's longer than it should be, right?
This is 90.
I have actually.
You can scratch your knees without bending over, right?
Yeah. I worked with
That's
my hands.
This is 90 over here. He can't reach me.
Oh, no, you can't
It's
get
totally
from
fine.
there.
Now, what happens after the show?
Well, no, I mean, he's
obviously-
also got legs, and he doesn't give a shit if this show finishes. So
Probably not.
You may want to take that into consideration, too.
Probably not, but we did sweeten his belly with a little Terry Blacks. You got the
That
shirt
wasn't
on
us.
here.
That was his buddy.
Oh,
Raulian over here. Yeah.
Say your full name. Raulian Otis was kind enough to bring in Terry Blacks. Barbecue today.
We'll have sex with pretty much
Best in the
anybody
biz.
that brings in Terry
Yes,
Blacks.
anytime
Yeah.
you want.
Excited.
Male or
Smile now.
female.
Yeah, male or female.
Don't be a prude.
You can have sex with us if you bring in Terry Blacks.
Yeah.
Mostly because you have to order $75 worth at a minimum.
no shit.
And then go pick it up, and it's like a couple hours.
It's worth it, though.
It's worth every bite.
By us, you mean Sean.
No, I mean all of us.
I just think just give him Sean.
Yeah, well, we'll offer Sean. Sean's going to be the last one he takes.
Yeah.
Like anybody, you know, if it's a male.
Yeah,
let's
he's
face
there.
it.
I mean, if a hole's a hole at the end of the day.
Hole's a hole. We've all been there.
Sean's tender. He's soft.
Oh, God.
He's
Probably
got
a gentle lover.
He's got a wispy Latino mustache right now.
He's a
It's really
Cowboys
nice.
fan. He probably smells like it's Cools.
Maybe
Menthol
he may-
100s.
It's possible he smells like menthols, yeah.
Probably. Who's your favorite NFL team, Chuck?
Green Bay Packers.
No shit.
Yep.
Great year for them.
Oh, yeah.
They might win it all.
We're hoping.
How did you get started on Green Bay? Was your grandfather?
You know,
'Cause-
I had a bet with my grandpa. He was a Rams fan.
Oh, shit, really?
And then they weren't supposed to win. They beat them. I won a bet with them, and I kind of liked them because that. And a kid in high school was handing out hats, giving everyone hats for the team. What's your favorite football team? I don't know. Green Bay Packers, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's stuck from there.
No shit. What do you think about hippie Aaron Rodgers? He's different this year. He's still great, and he's still winning. The post-game interviews have been weird. His interviews on Pat McAfee have been weird. Him taking off his socks and shoes to hold up his toe on camera. It's all been weird, very granola. I know who he's engaged to. She's super out in the woods. She didn't even watch football. She didn't even watch Aaron Rodgers, dead serious. Shailene Woodley's her name.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hey, say whatever's working for him, keep doing it.
I guess.
You know, it's working for him, right?
But he's got his hair in a man bun. The beard looks scraggly. He looks like me right now. Very gaunt, very thin, very Christopher McCandless. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on there. It's all working, and congratulations. If he takes one hit from an Aaron Donald, though, it's all over. And that's the only thing I worry about Green Bay this year.
Why? Tom Brady sometime in like the early 2010s went on the TB12 bullshit, but he only got healthier and healthier looking.
Yes.
Whatever Rodgers has done doesn't seem to have affected his performance so much, but he doesn't look great.
What's the last car on a train where the hobos eat beans?
Caboose.
Yeah. That's where Aaron Rodgers looks like he's been
He's definitely
working
got
out
a stick and bindle.
Yes.
And all of his worldly belongings are in the bindle.
in a polka dot blanket.
I don't believe in worldly possessions anymore, man.
No.
We got a lot of crystals though.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And they're saying there's a granola bar shortage. They're not. It's all at Aaron Rodgers' house. Like,
because
that's fine.
It takes a full gallon of water to make 1 pound of almonds or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So also he's causing a water shortage. They're not real environmentalists, is what I'm saying.
And his toilet must smell like a fucking tar pit. I mean, it's got to be a burn pit.
I think he's got a bidet.
No, I don't think he bidets it at all.
Well, he's certainly not using paper.
I think it's reusable washcloth.
Oh yeah, like the diapers. You can get that. You ever seen those? You got kids? Those baby diapers. It's like the little plastic or rubber cup, and then it goes inside of the cloth diaper, and somebody comes and picks up the diapers and washes them. That's what Aaron Rodgers wears.
Yeah.
Say it. Say
Say it, Chuck. Don't you fucking dare back out of this one. I want you to say it.
Say what?
Say you know what it is and say you've used
Well, I
it.
know exactly what it is. I never used one.
Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers does. Say it.
Say it.
He probably does. I don't know.
Have you met him?
Oh yeah, I've met him a few times.
That's why you're gun shy about this.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I haven't seen.
What's
Next-
wrong with being a cloth diaper parent?
Next
I was
time
a
you
cloth
see
diaper
him,
baby.
next time you see him, give the bro
Hey,
hug.
more power to it. If you want to do the cloth diaper thing.
Next time you see him, give him the bro hug and give a little butt cup reach around and just tap it a little bit. Make sure he's not wearing a diaper for me.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I'll go check.
No, thank you very
Okay,
much.
so what's
I
if
will
it's a
check.
cloth diaper? Is that even a diaper or is that underwear? At what point does it become a diaper?
when you can shit
Shunderwear.
into it.
Yeah.
That's when.
Shunderwear.
When it's okay to shit into it.
When you can shit
That's
into
when
your
it's a
underwear,
diaper.
it's called shunderwear.
Yeah.
That's it.
The fuck? What do you mean? What's the difference?
Did we just create the best invention ever? Does
Maybe.
someone have
No,
shunderwear
we
yet?
just made a really long-winded excuse for shitting your pants, basically.
Yeah.
Which I'm already a fan of.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
I had an adult diaper on when I was in the hospital that you can piss and shit into.
Is it dope?
For the first 15 minutes, it's dope. Super warm and inviting, and you're like, oh man, this is what I've been missing out on. As soon as minute 16 kicks in, you're in your own shit, and you can smell it, it's on you, and then you're like, great, if I ring this fucking bell, the cleanup for that is just, it's like a marker on toilet paper where you're just dotting it.
I feel like
It takes
somebody
forever, Chuck.
needs to make a Roomba diaper where it auto flushes out or something. It just shoots water down through there and cleans everything out and fires it out the back
Yeah.
onto unsuspecting strangers.
Yeah,
Or
well, you
whatever.
have a catheter for your wiener hole, right? But there's not one for your beehole. I wish it could suck it all out.
It's called a colostomy bag, my man, and you don't want one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I'm
there-
spitballing ideas here
I
for
just
the world.
feel like if you kept a steady stream of water going, it's like those things. I have one for my dogs. It keeps the water flowing to keep the water fresh all the time. If you just wore underwear like that, you could piss and shit yourself all day.
Yeah.
Why not? Why,
It's like a-
as
it's
a matter
like a
of fact, you would
liquid-cooled
be
computer.
You would be encouraged to piss and shit yourself all day.
I think everybody, there's a famous saying that every man is good for one shit your pants a year.
Yeah.
Just one, and then you move on. What was yours last year, Chuck?
What?
Come on. One time you shit your pants last year and you were like, oh shit, it snuck up on you, it surprised you.
Actually,
you didn't do it on purpose.
I missed last year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You skipped a year.
So I get 2 this year, I think.
Yeah, that was
But
your leap year?
You can't roll it over more than one at one. You can get 2 total in 1 year is all you can get.
Yeah.
And you can't borrow one from the next year either. 'Cause
No.
Come on.
No, I agree. Mine, because I had one where it was just, shit, did that come out? Like it was, did that come out? And then you have to touch it, right? Because sometimes you have hot farts, real heat seekers, where you're just like, shit, did anything come out? And then boom, you stick your hand down there and it's just, God damn it. You're pissed about it, not because you shit yourself, but the cleanup process after that. You're changing clothes, taking a shower.
No,
it's a
throw them
mess.
away, get in the shower.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's exactly.
I've thrown away like a lot of clothes over the years.
Do you keep the shorts? Is the underwear gone or is everything
Everything's
gone?
gone.
Everything's gone.
Anything that may have come into contact
Yes.
with poo. is
100%.
gone.
I feel like that's a little extreme.
Well,
Well,
I'm an extreme.
yeah, exactly. I threw away those Z Cavaricis.
Yeah.
I don't own them anymore.
Yeah.
Gone altogether.
That was probably a good idea.
Well,
Yeah.
that's me anyways, you know?
Yeah.
I once in Vegas pooped myself, then flipped my underwear inside out and just wiped off the poop on the outside.
Okay.
And then just wore them reverse again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and nobody watching the video version of this is in any way surprised by that.
No. By your general appearance right now, I'm surprised you haven't done it in the last hour.
Well,
Whatever in the last
actually,
hour.
over under who in the last 30 days has pooped and peed themselves more between the two of us?
No, I was in, I had to go to some outpatient rehab facility to walk and all that other bullshit. So you're fine at that point. They don't allow you to do that anymore. But
So I actually might beat you.
kick that back 3 weeks.
The way you said
Kick
that,
that
though,
back
they don't
3 weeks.
allow you to do that anymore means that there's some regret. I heard regret in your voice. You can't piss and shit yourself anymore.
Well, when you can't walk, you do miss it where you're just like, shit, I got to get up for this.
Now
Because
what-
especially when it's a little bit of pee.
Yeah.
When it's not a gallon. Like when you're not super soaking something, you're like, fuck.
Did they hold your legs together and lift them up over
Yes.
your head
Yep.
to?
And then they go side by
like a
side.
little baby?
Oh, I'll get dark. You want to get dark with it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We're here. Who gives a shit? We're fucking free. We're young.
Excuse the pun.
We're young, wild, and free. Who cares?
Fucking Chuck on pun patrol over here.
Yeah. Charles in charge over there. Here's how dark it gets, and it takes away all your manhood altogether, right? Every single thing. It takes away your manhood right out of the gate. You can't get it back, and you're so trusting of that person afterwards. So when you shit yourself in a man diaper or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and they bring you in, you got to ring a bell, and you're like, hey, I soiled myself. I pooped. I poopied. I need your help. And you say it in a real soft voice like that because you're ashamed. Like you're out, and there's nothing you can do, Giorgio.
You should do it like
I'm with you. I'm really with you on this.
You should do it like a Brazilian steakhouse where there's different colored flags for whether or not you've pissed or shit yourself.
I agree. Like
lift the flag like, hey, I need more meat over here or whatever.
Because you're in the cafeteria. Because if you yell at them, they're going to spit in your food, which is very uncomfortable.
100%. 100%. So here's what happens. They'll pull your legs up like Dan was saying, and then they go side to side, right? Because you got to get all of it. You got to go by that hole. They don't really want to get their fingers into it because of COVID and whatever fucking diseases you have. They put a baby wipe, a giant baby wipe on the elbow, and then go through the asshole like that, all the way through. And it's swift.
So like Muay Thai.
Yes.
They're Muay Thai in your butthole.
There's some force to it where you're just like, oh shit, because they don't want to have to go back for seconds. And so
I don't think they call it going back for seconds.
Well,
first of all, I'm disappointed with the quality of butt wipe that you got because I expected there to be a little bit better, like at least back of the hand, maybe.
Gonna be honest. That's probably the best way to do it, where it's just like, hey, it's forceful. Everything's getting out of there, and we're all done with you. Like turn over so we can wipe you off and do the other shit.
This is why I have comprehensive butt insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, and dude, I'm telling you.
I have a butler that shows up anytime I'm infirmed, and their only job is to tend to my beehole.
Yeah, but then afterwards, you got to look them in the eye because they clean you up and then they put you back down, and it's always.
I think it's more that they have to look you in the eye.
Both. Because
right? So
I'm ashamed.
You have to own that moment. Like
I'm ashamed. That's their job.
Yeah.
And I feel guilty for making them do their job because I'm a fucking disgusting human, and there's nothing I can do. And you look at them in the eyes and you're like, look, if she would have asked for my car keys, I would have just flipped them to her and just said, take it. I'm sorry. Take it. I did that and I apologize. Take my fucking truck. It's brand new. I'm sorry. Go tell your family to live a better life. Like, that's what I would have done at that point. And it's even, I'll add to it when it's even worse. My wife came and visited me almost every day when I was in the hospital. She was there for one of those moments. I had to tell her to leave the room. I was like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go, and it's 1 + 1. So
it's a deuce.
Yeah. Because you're hoping that math kind of throws them off, so where it's not that disgusting and your wife can still have sex with you later and all that other shit. So yeah, it's bad. But anyways, I'm here. Charles is here. We got a big UFC card this weekend too. UFC 269, Giorgio.
My favorite number.
Yes, obviously.
269 is your favorite number?
Yeah, because it implies that there could be poo or like two versions of 69. Like,
or it takes two people to 69.
Right, like and reverse.
Yeah, there were a lot
69.
of other explanations that didn't involve shit that you could have gone to.
It was just on the brain, you know.
Kind of on the brain, and
Yeah.
Man. Well, the first...
Well, real quick, because I don't want to let this go.
Yeah.
Going into a ring, have you ever just taken a fucking nasty deuce where you're just like, oh, shit, I got to go right now, and I'm about to get into the ring and fight for a title here?
Yeah, what's your
really,
ritual?
Honestly, I always have to pee a lot before I go fight. Like,
We know that.
Because you're rehydrating after the cut or what?
After the cut, because I'm rehydrating and all that stuff. So I'm always out peeing all the time. And then I've had actually quite a few times. 2 different times I've had to have the commission people follow me to my room because I'm like, dude, I'm trying. I can't fucking pee.
Like after already taped? Oh, you mean for the piss test?
You got piss test after the fight.
Yeah.
And they piss before the fight, no problem. After the fight, I'm like, I can't. Like they have to follow you to your room, and I'm sitting there down in Gatorade and water, and then the thing that sucks is then finally I can pee, right?
Yeah.
So the rest of the night I broke the seal. I'm fucking going to the bathroom like every 30 minutes. I piss again, piss again. Yeah, it was that was always after the fight because you're a little dehydrated. You've been out there fighting and doing stuff, and
You're also like tensed up, so your fucking urethras are all tensed up.
Yeah.
Your butthole and dick hole
trying to-
urethras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to pee. I always took a while after the fights.
Okay.
I wonder about Wade Boggs, because he would eat an entire chicken before the game. He had to go shit like at the 7th inning stretch, right?
Oh, easily. Maybe
There's no
the
way
third
you
or
can
fourth.
eat. How much is a whole? Look up how much a whole rotisserie chicken is calorie-wise and protein-wise, Bob.
Yeah.
What position did he play, Dan?
Third base.
Yeah, so I mean, anytime the other team or
Only
lot
if
of
they're
squatting.
if they're on the road. If they're at home, he's got to go all the way across the diamond.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
not, that's
Like
not.
he
Lot
can't
of
sneak off
squatting.
the field and shit or come in late because he's got to run all the way across. And everybody knows that if you're a baseball player and the inning gets delayed because you're in the clubhouse and you're running back out, they know you're shitting.
Yeah.
Everyone, all 60,000 people there know you're shitting.
Everyone knows.
By the way, that's the thing, and they had to adjust the rules of tennis because people were using poop breaks
Correct.
to fuck with their opponents.
Yep.
So what do you got to prove that you're shitting? Like you
yeah.
bring a fucking log back, like here's the proof.
First of all, if I
Yeah.
could go take a dump in the middle of a wrestling match and catch my breath, I would be pooping every single
Right, yeah.
time.
Rotisserie chicken, roughly 1,037 calories.
How much protein?
166 grams.
Yep.
Damn. That's a lot to eat before every goddamn
Oh, yeah.
game.
Yeah. We got a bit of breaking news here. Tommy Fury is out of the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
Jake Paul is actually having a rematch with your boy.
Tyron Woodley.
Yes.
Yeah, he also offered Woodley an extra $500K if he knocks him out.
Yes. Now, Charles, last time you were on the show, I'm going to go by your government name on this one because I earned it. I earned it, okay?
Okay.
You picked Woodley.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, yeah. He didn't win.
No, he didn't win. He didn't win.
It went on fine.
Why do you think he didn't win, though? I mean, I've got my theories on it. But
I didn't. Why didn't he win? I don't know. I don't.
I think
Did you
it's-
pay for that fight? Did you
here's-
pay for it?
No.
Here's
Okay.
what I think. I want to run this by you. I think we may
I
have
didn't
talked.
watch it.
Okay.
I think we may have talked about it like 2 years ago, but I think that boxing is so specific. There's like katas. If I see this trigger, there's this 4-punch or 5-punch combination, and it kind of works like that. And that's not like mixed martial arts is so much more free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, another thing too is like you're talking about a wrestler that learned how to strike.
Right.
Right.
And he can't count on
He's not
like
just-
shooting isn't a risk anymore
like,
for the other guy.
He's Woodley's an okay MMA striker if you have to worry about him wrestling you.
Right.
That's why he makes him an okay.
Yeah.
He's a decent striker, and he can and you can set up and land those big bombs a lot easier when you're worried about, because if you don't worry about him taking you down, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to worry about. So you have to compensate for that. Now you're taking a guy that's just boxing him. I mean, you change it when you go from MMA to boxing. You change your stance changes, timing, everything changes. Timing, distance changes because you can't kick, you can't punch, you can't. So it changes everything. So
The results of landing a solid punch are probably quite a bit different as well with smaller gloves. And because you see guys get hit in the face with boxing gloves, like 16-ounce gloves sometimes, it's like it doesn't even affect the guy. But if you got caught with an actual fist like that, you're going down. And I think that I've seen some guys pull punches that have went from MMA over to boxing after. Like they hit a guy like, oh, shit, because it feels the same way when a baseball player hits a home run, you can feel it off the bat, and you get used to after years and years and years of fighting with these smaller gloves like that. You hit a guy like that, you're like, that dude's fucked up, and then he just like, oh, all right, I'm good again. That's got to fuck with you a little bit, because you have to like punch through the target a lot. There's a lot more. I would bet that more top level boxing matches finish in decisions than
a lot
MMA.
A lot of the MMA guys they spar with 16-ounce gloves all the time.
For like conditioning and shit.
Well, except for sparring, just to get that kickboxing sparring. And we always make sometimes you have the wrestling next to you, but you can't be hitting each other. I mean,
You tear each other up with 4-ounce gloves.
for real,
You're
yeah.
gonna end up cutting each other, and you're gonna have
Yeah.
look black and blue all the time.
Yeah,
your
that's
face
true,
will
yeah.
destroy your face. It's
a good point.
Also, get guys concussed.
Yeah, you don't want that shit.
Concussions, yeah.
People get hurt enough in training, but the main story of the first fight was it was lost in the first 3 rounds. Tyron didn't really do enough. Jake didn't do much, but he had more volume and really worked off the jab, worked from outside. Right. The 4th round, Tyron catches him hard, puts him into the ropes, wins that round easily. Probably should have been 10-8. wins the 5th round, but then going into the 6th, 7th, 8th kind of goes back to the not chasing the win. I don't know if he thought he was winning in those early rounds, but like as a wrestler or MMA athlete coming over into boxing, how do you know where you're at with the scoring? Like, how do you know like what's worth? Because if you're not getting damage from the jab or you're not really feeling like much, you can feel like you're winning.
Things like
your
ring
corner
control
should
and
be letting you know.
right, but things like ring control and takedowns and stuff are such an obvious. Like I know that I did these 2 things in round 1, so I won that round no matter what else happened in MMA, right? In UFC at least.
Well, yeah, but I think with that, like, I mean, he has always been a counter fighter, so he backs up and he kind of takes his time. I think he had was part of the record for the least amount of punches thrown in a 5-round fight.
Yeah, a couple really weird things like that because he's known for his punching and known for his wrestling, and he had like no takedowns for a little bit.
Mac Jones did that for the Patriots last night.
Yeah.
He was like 2 for 3 passing.
Yeah.
And they won the game. Like, no shit.
But
3 passes he threw the entire game. Lowest since 1974.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Anyway.
It was a 50-mile-an-hour win, but
yeah.
Do you think something kicks over in him? Does he chase him more in this next fight? I mean, I know you haven't really watched it or kept up with it a little bit, like, but as a former champion and like coming into this kind of new circus, like getting another bite at the apple, do you think Tyron's really going to go after him?
I think he should. I mean, I think getting another shot at it, looking back at what he did wrong.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it and say, look, you lost these rounds this way. You lost it. His coach can say, look, if you just do this the whole fight, we win.
Well, have you ever had to change it up from one fight to the next? Or you watch tape? Give me an example of one time when you watched tape or had a fight with a guy and you changed it up the next time.
Randy.
Randy, yeah, for sure.
First time.
But you were hurt the first one too, but still.
But still, I saw some things, and it just allowed me to pivot off and hit him. So that's what I want. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. But is it that's one thing. It's you're changing your striking profile to some other striking profile, but going from a counter guy to an active striker. That's probably a bit of a mental change for him, right?
That's a mental change, but you can put that in for a camp.
Yeah.
Like if it's better for me to back up on this guy, I can back up and.
Well, maybe you can do that, but maybe that's the difference between a great fighter and a really good fighter. The ability to pivot like that, because when you see a lot of guys that lose fights that you don't think. Like, we have this idea of who's more talented than somebody else, but it's a bad matchup because this guy is an offensive fighter and he just can't do defense, or he's a defensive fighter and he just can't be aggressive like that. That happens a lot in MMA.
Yeah.
Guys just don't match up well with their opponent. Sometimes lose fights to somebody that's not as talented as they are because it's a bad matchup, right?
Right.
So how do you
you kind of have to figure that out, because I think that happened with Adam Saya and what was Costa.
Paulo Costa?
Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
Like,
Adesanya Paulo Costa. Yeah, it thought it was going to be like a really competitive.
Yeah, but he decided he wasn't going to commit because Adam Saya likes to counter, right?
Right.
And he stayed outside, and I was like, okay, stay out there. Bang.
Yeah.
He just fed right into what Adesanya wanted to do, and like
I'd rather get punched by him than kicked by him, to be honest.
Well,
Paulo was his pressure fighter. Like he would just swarm you and get over you, and like he changed his game.
He changed his game to try to.
So it can backfire too.
It can backfire too, because if you don't fight, you're fight.
Yeah. Well, that's what Greg Maddox used to say. He used to say, I want to get the guy out with my best pitch, not throw to his. Or no, I'm sorry. Smoltz, I believe, said that. I want to get the guy out with my best pitch, not throw what he's not good at hitting. Like, I want to throw my best pitch every time, regardless of what he's good at hitting. Right. That might be, there's probably something to that.
There was I had read this, I had this, listen to it was a wrestling motivational thing a long time ago. A guy was talking about how he went out to, all he had, one guy had to beat in the world. One guy, he didn't worry about anybody else. He was training to beat him, trying to beat him. He was losing. He went out and tried to wrestle just to counter his wrestling style. And after 2 rounds, he was losing, like he was almost teched. And he said, I'll go back. I'm gonna wrestle my way. Go back to wrestling my way. He went back to wrestling. And he's like, he lost by 1. He came all the way back and started wrestling. You got to wrestle. You got to do you.
Well, you see teams do that in the playoffs. They'll switch up shit that's been working all year in the playoffs and completely fuck themselves. That happens in team sports all the time.
So do you think Woodley will win this fight?
He's got a good shot at it. I mean, he's got to go.
He's historically been a pretty smart guy, and you would think a smart guy would pivot right now, right?
If he goes back and he stays on and goes after it, he can get him.
I have the hottest take, and you guys probably are. It's gonna be something a little weird. I think it's better for the overall sport of fighting though if Jake Paul beats him again. Because if Jake Paul beats him again, I think he'll finally be accepted in the community a little bit.
I agree.
And in maybe 5 to 10 years, if he starts managing or promoting in a way, and he has some like real respect behind him, and he could probably like help a lot of combat sports in a lot of ways. If he beats Tyron Woodley again, because I think everyone should expect Tyron to get his shit together and come out and knock Jake Paul's head off. But if he doesn't, it really like it rubber stamps everything.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's a tough kid. He boxes well.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And he punches hard.
But I still think he's a hesitation. He's an outlier. And like the guys who were like doing the amateur rounds.
It's only because he was famous before he was a fucking boxer. Any other kid that was performing like he is right now at that age against these opponents, regardless if they were professional fighters, anybody else that was doing that would be like, oh, this is pretty legit. But he was rich before, so it's not legit somehow.
And it's a very unorthodox, early fights in your career. A lot of people.
It's a bit privileged, yeah. Like most people, we'll talk about Sean O'Malley. He's 14-1. Has had some of like multiple fights of the night. He is very talented. He's blown up. Everybody loves him. He's not even ranked in the top 16 in his fucking weight class right now, despite being on the main card. Right?
He has the quality of opponents he hasn't beat is probably also up for discussion, up for debate.
He's lost one fight and he got hurt.
To Cheeto Vera, and it looked possibly from like a checked kick.
It's what it looked like to me, yeah.
So if it comes from a checked kick, that's something attack that you do, your opponent counters, and Cheeto injured him.
Yeah, but that's like bad luck too. You don't. How many kicks get checked in a single fight versus how many actually cause injuries, the one we saw with Conor or the one we saw with him.
Anderson Silva.
Yeah. But it's the fact that you can name all of them off the top of your head means it's rare.
And I do that check all the time. That's my favorite check for MMA.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just to turn your knee and let him catch that. I pivot my knee and throw it right hand.
Yeah, because you're real quick with it too.
Yeah, it's real quick, and they'll stop doing it. I mean, if their shin's hitting your shin, or I'm getting hit with the right hand, I'll exchange a leg kick for a right hand any day of the week if you want.
Yeah. If you can get a clean one off for sure.
Yeah,
do you think the checks there or the injuries will stop this craze of low calf kick that we're in right now? Because we're in like the era of the low calf.
Doesn't it seem like a lot of guys delivering those are getting hurt as well?
Yeah.
Like it's not just the recipient of that kick.
Well,
that's
that's what I wanted to bring up is like if you see like an evolution in how guys check these kicks, are we gonna move away from it? Because like everyone's doing it. If you're a wrestler, if you're a boxer, if you're a jiu-jitsu artist, you're training a low calf kick right now.
Right. And yeah, you'll move away from stuff. I mean, everyone does. I mean, that's like a lot of times you get a guy that's checking your leg kick's good. You don't get leg kick much.
Yeah.
If I go throw a leg kick and you don't even try to block it, I just turn into a Thai guy, put my hands up, start kicking.
Yeah.
I'll start chopping that leg. Right?
I doubt a lot of people were, came into a fight against GSP with a leg kick strategy, right? Because that's not going to work out. That dude's going to have you on your back in like less than a second if you try to fucking.
I would have loved to see him fight in the era of the leg kick. It just wasn't a thing then. It wasn't in the meta of MMA at that point in time. Like stuff we need to worry about.
Yeah, but I don't think it would have worked on him.
There's plenty of guys doing that.
That shoots real fast.
You think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like
no, not the low cap, but I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, I mean, you got thigh kick,
thighs,
kicks, yeah. John does like an oblique kick almost that kind of goes to like the high quad or almost the knee area that they've been talking about.
Yeah, but his torso is like this long, and the rest of his arms and legs are like fucking 30 feet long each. Most of his body is arms and legs, right?
That's true.
Like he's got some fucking. He's like you with the arms. You got like you should have like a 73, 74 inch reach, and you got what 76, 77.
79.
Jesus Christ, dude.
We listed at 76, but that was because John didn't want people thinking I was that long.
I know.
Hack used to do all that stuff. Like, we come in, they'd film for the UFC.
Yeah.
Do stuff for pre-fight stuff.
Pull your punches and shit.
No, he'd have me southpaw. If you go back and look at the pre-fight stuff the UFC does, I spar southpaw, hitting the mid southpaw. Because whenever they were there filming, he wouldn't let me stand in right hand.
That's funny.
He didn't want to pick anything out of that.
Do you think we'll ever see John Jones in the UFC again?
I don't know. I haven't.
And he's got more charges though than
he's got
most rappers.
He has a lot of issues outside the cage. He's on this move up to heavyweight where he's taking a long time to compete because he wants to put the weight on the correct way.
Non-steroids.
It's hard.
That's the implication. Although he's been popped for that before, right?
Yeah.
That was kind
twice.
of shady. Well, it's cocaine the other time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's not a performance enhancer drug. That's a let's have
on
fun.
fight day.
Well, no, it was.
You don't want to be on cocaine
out of
when you're
season
fighting.
test.
Oh, it was. Okay,
you don't
gotcha.
want to be on cocaine when you're
And that's
fighting.
why. That's why. That's everyone's all. Well, how come we didn't bust him for that? Well, because technically they weren't supposed to be testing for that.
Got it.
It's not in the. It's not in the performance enhancing out of season testing. It's only in the fight testing.
Got it.
Is it the IOCC or who? What's the organization that tests?
USADA, yeah. Yeah.
So I guess the new big craze on that is microdosing everything. It's microdosing.
Well, that's what Alex Rodriguez was doing for years. So he would take very small amounts of testosterone, and then he would eat gummies. Like he would take a lozenge right before the game, and then he would eat a gummy in like the 7th inning, and he would only have elevated testosterone for that game.
Yeah.
Like they could have tested him half an hour after the game, and he would be fine.
So that's what they're doing this thing called your bio passport, where they test your T levels over years of your life, and they try to build up a genetic makeup of you to then see like if things are out of order or you have an overproduction of something else. I think one of the things John tested positive for was a huge estrogen spike to like try to counter back silence or I'm not sure the way the equation.
It's a post-cycle.
Yes,
thing,
something of that nature. But if he does come back, he's either fighting Cyril Gane, he's fighting Francis Ngannou, or he's fighting Stipe Miocic.
He and Francis Ngannou should fight each other right now and not involve the UFC.
And make all the money.
Why not?
Yep.
Like fuck them.
Well, they're both tied to contracts, and
Yeah.
For how much? How many more contracts has John got? It can't be that many, right? Maybe 1 or 2.
1 or 2 fights. I know Francis is on 1. I think there's still
I
a
thought
clause.
Francis had 3 more. Isn't he like sitting out right now intentionally?
Yeah. He's gonna fight Cyril Gane. That's why the interim title was created. After beating Stipe, he didn't want to come back quick enough for them to bring that fight together. So they had an interim title.
Well, I think it was less that he didn't want to come back in time, that he wanted to get paid for his performance, right?
No. It was more they just needed a title fight for Houston for their event. They just didn't have a title that they needed like a set amount of titles.
But for how long was the?
It was 3 months. It was.
That's
it was
not
a joke.
Long.
That's why it was very suspicious, the fact that they would give an interim title for someone who was not injured. He was doing like a promotional tour through Africa.
Yeah, what was not injured wasn't gone. 3 months is not.
That's a quick turnaround for a title fight, man. Goddamn, especially in heavyweight.
Yeah.
Fuck. 2 heavyweight defenses a year is pretty fucking good.
They didn't give an interim 55-pound title, and Khabib didn't fight for an entire year waiting for him to change
Yeah, and he was
his mind
suspended
and come
for
back.
6 months of that too, right? For the fucking jumping out of the cage after, right? Oh no, that was
No,
before.
that was way before.
Yeah,
No.
before,
He announced his retirement after beating Justin and said there was no one else in the division to even challenge him. And then they held the title up for a year, basically, and still didn't introduce an interim title.
Yeah, well.
But when they finally did, it was Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira,
Yeah.
which ended in Charlie Olives knocking him out in the second round.
Great fight.
Defending his title this weekend against Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, and since we're talking about it, UFC 269, you can bet at mybookie.com. Promo code DrinkinBros will double your deposit. All of the odds that we will list off today are on mybookie.com. That's where we bet everything on. Bowl season is just around the corner as well. We'll be doing a live college football show for not only the Big Six, but also every single bowl game. Let's face it, you're at home, you're with your family, you're bored, you want to gamble. Gamble at mybookie.com, promo code DrinkinBros, double your deposits. We're going to do the main card here. Giorgio, why don't you kick it off since this is your show that we hijacked?
Top to bottom, bottom to top. What
There
are
you
we
go,
feeling?
bottom to top.
Bottom to top?
Yep.
Okay.
Sugar Sean.
Sugar Sean versus Paiva. Okay, this is really interesting. Obviously, Sugar Sean O'Malley has coming through with the clout, coming through with the big name. Paiva's last fight was getting worked in the first rounds against Stevens and then just came back with heart. Me and Dan watched this fight card live together. I'd never seen a guy just get so tore up in the first round and watch someone gas themselves and then just give up the second 2 rounds. This is exactly who Sean O'Malley could stumble against. Doesn't put him away and has someone who's dangerous in the second and third. And
He's done that in 2 fights now.
Which
he's
brings me to
pulled
that
up
point.
in two fights, which both fights he ended up getting fight of the night or performer of the night, but still 2 fights he had a guy with a knockdown blow and did not deliver a finishing blow and had to fight him for at least one of them when he had to fight a whole other round, I think, which doesn't look good if you're trying to build a case to get yourself ranked, which he's complaining about right now, I think rightfully so. But if you're trying to build that case, you got to do the fundamental shit, which is when you got a guy on the ropes, you knock his ass out.
He couldn't put a guy down who was pulled up from the regional circuit last minute. And for everyone outside who doesn't know what that means you're fighting in a Hooters parking lot with 200 and something strikes land into his head. So like
there are those guys. You can hit him in the head with a brick, and they're staring going down.
That's true.
That was that guy that night.
That guy was just a zombie. He just kept coming forward. It wasn't going down.
What's your thoughts on Sean?
Looked like he was out on his feet.
Is Sean all hype or is he a real fighter?
He's a real fighter. I mean, he's exciting. I mean, I think that's why he gets the extra hype, and because he's explosive and he's a dynamic striker. But being ranked, they're going to have to put a little. He needs to fight, I think, stiffer opponents.
Well, this guy is at least ranked 15. If you're looking to bet this, it's plus 240 for Paiva right now. I mean, that's 2.5 to 1 odds.
There's some other plus money in here that I'm going to probably convince some of our listeners to take. This it provides a good test for him, but I still think Sean's gonna come through with a W here. But this could be a stumbling block. And if it is, it could be a little downward spiral of his career. So if he's gotten his focus together and really goes out here and fights his fight, I think he still walks away with this.
Okay. Well, minus 310 is nothing good to bet on. I would look for the rounds. I would probably take O'Malley in the first. That's probably going to be the most likely thing that you're going to get the best odds on. Because if he doesn't knock the guy out in the first, it's probably going to be a longer fight based on what you're saying.
Take Sean O'Malley on the over.
What's the over?
The over is minus 125 and 2.5 rounds. So I expect the fight to go the distance, and I expect Sean to win.
Oh, it's a 3-round fight, yeah.
He's also never been knocked out. Only a doctor stoppage in 2019.
Okay, who do you got, Chuck?
Sean. I think he's going to win it, but I mean...
What color is his hair going to be? Is there a bet on that?
I don't like those odds. I mean, I wouldn't put it on the
310 is not good. But if you parlay it with the over, that's probably good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because it probably does go the distance.
Yeah, I see that going the distance with Sean coming out on top, so maybe you could get some decent...
And you said that's 125?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. Next up, Cody Garbrandt for Kaikar France. Cody Garbrandt's the first time going down to 125. Everyone knows him for that walk-off hook knockout punch that they always replay on the UFC, even though how amazing it is. Kaikar France is the 11th ranked New Zealander at 125. Cody says he's getting a title shot if he wins this fight. I don't.
That's accurate.
I don't. He said this on multiple networks and broadcasts. I don't understand why Dana would do this. How he's going to do this?
Because Cody.
Do we just want Cody to be a star? Do we just want him?
People like his tats.
He has a cool neck tattoo. I will give him that. Yeah, he has a very cool neck tattoo.
125.
Yeah, but his name's
Cody.
Cody.
Exciting.
But I mean, you can say has he earned it?
No. He wasn't a top 10
way.
fighter at 135. You dropped to 25. You beat the guy who's ranked 11. You don't get a title shot.
Former title holder, though.
So?
It doesn't matter. Like
sometimes it comes down to how you sell a fight.
And nobody wants to see anybody at 125.
Name recognition.
Yeah. And the worst part is I can't.
That doesn't get it. Hey, maybe that builds your champion who doesn't have as much name recognition if he goes out there and beats him.
Yeah, that's true. I would love to see Cody fight Moreno. I think Moreno would just run him into the ground. I don't think Cody could handle the pace in any aspect of that fight to be gassing it into the first round.
Well, France is he's the 6th ranked contender.
Oh, he's 6th ranked.
So he's not like.
I thought he was 11.
He's not great, but he's not fucking sucking either. I mean, that's a pretty good spot to be in.
120.
The odds are close. It's minus 155 for Cody, plus 135 for France.
I'm surprised if Cody walks on 2 legs into that ring. Cutting to 125.
Okay.
I just.
Well, that's the only question I have is
how long did he have
that cut?
Yeah, how long did he have to cut? Like
it's 6 months.
3 or 4 or 5 months. That's different,
ready.
But still, you got to be emaciated at the end of that.
He's been talking about
going. That guy.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm fighting at 125 in an hour. So
I mean, he really would have had to do some long-term restrictive dieting to change his body composition, to change his body.
But you have
mass.
to go under and then come back up, right?
No. He just has to. He has to get to not be 180, which I'm assuming he probably weighed in the offseason, or at least 170 somewhere.
That means he's got to be. If he's fighting 125, he's got to be cruising around at 150, right? That's got to be his street weight to get down to 125, 150, 155.
In a non-camp situation, I guarantee you he doesn't come into the gym under 155 pounds.
Yeah. So you have to first cut your body mass down to 155 from 180. And then you have to fucking do a 25-pound cut. Fuck that.
Yeah, you just can't lift anymore like that. Your lifting has to be like you have to do test weight cuts. Who wants to do that shit?
Coma.
Who wants to cut weight to not even fight?
Test weight cuts suck. No reward after. Just do it for fun.
You just get,
Jesus.
you just get pneumonia, I guess.
Yeah. You can go into a coma. Worked for me. Why not?
I feel like this is a coin flip. I feel like they handed Kai Kara-France to Cody because they want him to win. So if
It's like
you
a
wanna,
Donald Cerrone versus Conor.
yeah,
thing.
if you just want to follow the UFC logic here a little bit and like what they're playing out in the narrative, I'd put your money on Cody here.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's going to win and get a title shot because, I mean, this division was almost cut altogether 4 years ago.
Yes. Yep.
I'm telling
agree
you,
with you.
why can I never pronounce his name? But the Dagestani Askar Akarev is nasty. He's the guy who went the split decision with Moreno. There's 3 guys here. We can build a division. I think. I don't know. That's just me.
That's because you want to fight in it.
No, I do not want to fight in 125.
You're 125 now.
No, I'm coming back to. I'm going to get up to about 200 when I fight Dakota,
Okay.
and then I'm probably going to cut to 70 for some jiu-jitsu stuff.
Sure. I love all that. Who you got in this fight, Chuck?
Cody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the neck tat?
Yeah, mostly the neck tag.
Okay.
And the beard is nice, too, yeah.
Very full.
I mean, there's something to be said for looking like somebody that's a champion, right? You don't see a whole lot of champions with fucking neck beards and weird teeth.
Yeah. You usually see that at Walmart.
Yeah.
Not inside a UFC ring.
Or in the comment section on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
Exactly.
Giorgio, if you're going to give a little respect to anybody in that division, it's Pantoja, who has beaten Moreno twice, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's 4. We have 4 extremely talented fighters. We have a division. Let's stop trying to bring 135-pounders down. I don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, we're also
Bring-
going to give some respect to Panera Bread.
Bring Triple C back. He's wanting to come back, right, and fight Volkanovski.
Not at
That's-
125.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
Yeah, not going to happen. Who do we got up next, Giorgio?
We got Geoff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio.
I think the most interesting part about this is Geoff Neal is a white man's name, and this is a black guy.
Yep.
Very unfortunate for Geoff because it's a G, which is also rare.
Right.
It's Geoff.
It's the British way of spelling Jeff on a black guy.
Yeah. Is he British?
No.
Okay.
No, he's from Texas, actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, if I were to say the name Neil Magny to you, would you think that was a white or a black guy?
Neil?
Yeah.
What's the
Real
last
white.
name?
Magny.
Magny?
Yeah.
White
That
and
sounds
Polish.
Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Now, it's another black dude who both these guys have fought and has been very interesting in this division. A lot of these guys have trade losses to a lot of each other. I think this welterweight division is the only division in the UFC where you still see stylistic components about it. You'll still see heavy kickboxers. You'll still see heavy wrestlers with like the Brunsons. There hasn't been a super talented jiu-jitsu guy in that area yet, but you've still got the American street brawler coming over as well. Which makes this interesting. Both these guys are dangerous. It's gonna be a stand-up battle. I think it's kind of a coin flip, but
And I'm glad you said that because the odds are even. It's minus 110 for each fighter.
yeah. I think this is just gonna be a this is gonna be a value, an entertainment fight. Like these guys are gonna slug it out. They're gonna do head kicks. They're gonna swing for the fences.
Who do you got?
Geoff Neal.
Okay. Chuck, who do you got? Geoff? You going Geoff?
I'll go with Jeff.
Okay. All right. Not Santiago.
Nah, I mean with a 29-4 record, that's a lot of mileage on a fighter.
Sure.
Yeah, so you kind of look at stuff like that. Also, at 35 years old, you're at the last little bits of your career.
He's like 4 inches taller.
Yeah,
So he's a BJJ guy that likes to stand up and fight.
Oh, he can throw, yeah.
yeah. He just throws.
Interesting.
Just throws.
All
Which is
right.
really interesting for some of these Brazilians. They're just throwing bombs.
Which, yeah, Ponzinibbio's my
Yeah, they're usually more
Yeah,
trap guys.
Dan. I
aren't
think I might be talking myself into Ponzinibbio.
By the way, as a casual, as they're called, they always call me in the comment section, which is totally true. I only show up for the superstars, the guys who put asses in seats. Why is that the third highest fight of the
Intermission.
night instead of Sugar Sean
Intermission.
O'Malley?
You need a brawl to watch just in case one of these heavy hitters knocks
No,
somebody
No,
out.
this is a good fight. This is a really
It's a really good fight, but something got removed.
It is, but why not Sugar Sean O'Malley?
This is going to be entertaining, too. These guys are just going to throw hands.
Someone got removed from this card, didn't they, Dan? Like someone lost a dance partner. I can't remember what it was, but I don't think this was the original fight
Alec
that was supposed to
Baldwin.
be here.
Okay.
Which brings us into our co-main event. Our women's GOAT.
Yep.
Amanda Nunes.
The best there is. Here's the thing. This is the one female fighter that I'll pay the pay-per-view money for because it's exciting every single time.
Exciting for you. I want someone to actually fight her.
I don't think they can, and that's the problem.
There are 2 women on this planet, maybe like Chris Cyborg, like 10 years
Harrison.
ago.
I don't think Cyborg could do it
She
anymore.
can't now.
It's too old.
You don't think Kayla Harrison could do it right now?
No.
Maybe. I mean, they're the stars of two different organizations. They'll never come together.
No.
It's really unfortunate.
And you're looking at the odds of this. It's minus 900 for Nunez. There's no way in hell you bet on this
No,
fight.
Julianna Pena is already on this like press tour of saying how much of an honor it is to be able to walk into the cage with her.
Yeah.
Well, the real honor is going to be.
You don't say things like that.
Have you ever said that, Chuck? No.
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 I like how you looked at me like I'm wearing a soft helmet.
Nunez
What
has
the
won 12 consecutive fights and 5 defenses of her bantamweight title and 2 defenses of her flyweight or featherweight title. So 7 total defenses, which is what? That's got to be like 4th or 5th all time. I think John Jones is first with 14, and then Demetrius Johnson with 11, and then Woodley's 6th, and he's got 4 straight title or something like that.
It's hard to defend a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like, there's definitely no women that are anywhere close to her.
Women's MMA, I think it's peaking. Like it's super interesting over the last 5 years. We get to see an entire new sport be developed. Like we didn't see what would happen in females' bodies when you combine these different aspects and arts together, and it's just kind of taken off. And I think as it does this, you'll see little outliers because different women will figure it out first. They'll be able to combine certain things together, and no one's really been able to stop Amanda's boxing and her pressure. Like none of the good U.S. Like Julianna Pena just beat a former U.S. Women's team silver medalist to get to this fight with Nunez. And so it's like, you don't really see anyone coming up there. You don't see anyone coming from the kickboxing or the BJJ world transferred over is where you see a lot of the women's success coming right now. But
But that's not going to just, BJJ is not going to beat her.
No, I'm saying in the sense of like, that's the art form where you see the talented women up and coming who are young right now. I mean, they're learning their boxing. They're complete mixed martial artists, but yeah, it's just there's no one's got anything for her, and it's sad and it's amazing, you know. Like
Also, they're gonna.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing when you got such a great fighter, but you don't have anyone for him to fight.
right, like Valentina's too small. We've seen that twice already.
Yep.
Right.
Jake Paul, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, let's do it. Like
Women's 145 won't be a division by like I don't know 2 years from now.
Any chance the women actually go to heavyweight? Dead serious.
Like get a heavyweight. Like a
Well, I mean, look,
like
the
a
biggest
265?
knock on Cyborg was the fact that she hated cutting weight and there wasn't a division above it.
yeah.
Well, I guess that would fit for like Kayla Harrison's a massive woman.
Yeah, there's a lot of big girls out there who want to fucking party.
Most of the bigger women are in boxing, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't think
She
they
just
go
came
like
over. Who
transition.
was the female Olympic champion Golden Glove boxer that just signed with ONE FC
Yeah.
and lost her first MMA fight? Someone looked
Caitlyn Jenner.
Shields.
Shields.
Yeah, Shields. So like we're seeing like the super elite come over. Like I mean, she was like
She has no
women's.
ground game though.
Yeah, but we're seeing like boxing at a super high level. So I don't know. Like it's different.
You don't necessarily need to be able to grapple.
Could you
just
beat
have to
Amanda
be able to
Nunes? I'm
stop.
being dead serious.
Defend herself.
Yeah.
You're talking to me or Chuck?
No, you.
You're looking at me and asking
Yes.
if I could beat her.
You're a dude who does
Same weight
MMA.
class.
No, I do not. I have never.
Same weight class.
I have never trained MMA.
It's
in my
fine.
life.
Could you do it?
Commercial.
No. I want a fucking answer.
Yes, I think I could beat Amanda Nunes. Yes. I think I would take her down. I don't think she would drop me with a punch, and I think I would beat her on the ground. Yes.
Does anybody have a Zippo and some lighter fluids so we can just light this desk on fire? I can't believe you just said that.
I would disagree.
You can't believe that I would beat Amanda. Like no.
You don't have hands, Giorgio.
I think she would knock you out clean.
She's nuts. No.
and fucking rape you with some form of dildo
She
or
would
strap
definitely
on.
rape- Whether or not she won the fight, she would definitely rape you after.
We would put in money for that.
I mean, you can't rape the willing one, and with her wife's consent, obviously.
True.
But two, I would take the woman down.
Oh my God.
no. Like I don't know if there's a woman on the earth that can stop me from taking her down.
Please, Sean,
Oof, don't
take
clip
this
that.
clip and cut it. Giorgio just said he would beat Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, send it to Glad
Yeah,
for being homophobic and whoever's in charge of
transphobic,
the
all of
women
it.
stuff. I don't know.
They will be
Yeah.
angry with you.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
What?
My God, Chuck, what do you think?
I can't believe him.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, right? Like the top woman in the world who is just destroying people. Giorgio's like, yeah, I think I could fucking get in there and rock her.
Well, there's that woman from.
No, I never said I could hit her.
You would win the fight, is what you just said.
Yeah, I think I would take her down before she could knock me unconscious.
She's got you on the ground.
No, absolutely not.
We'll start a GoFundMe. I don't know how much Amanda Nunes usually gets paid, but we'll pay her that amount to fight you.
Yes. That's fucking crazy town USA you were living in right now.
You guys are trolling me really bad. And
no,
you have to bear.
There's no shame. She would beat me. There's no shame in saying a woman can beat you.
Well, right now, McConaughey, she definitely would beat you.
No shit.
Yeah. But if you were at your normal weight, you could just lie down on top of her. To be honest, she's not that big. Like it's.
Man,
I know
her walking around
against other women the same size as her, she looks like an incredible athlete, and she is. But compared to an average man, that's just not the case. I mean, that's just how.
I want to tell you guys a story. And in 2010, me, three of the Missouri football players, two track runners.
No. Continue this.
I was on the Duke lacrosse team.
Yeah, exactly.
Beat the returning Big 12 champion female soccer team in a game of soccer. None of us had ever touched a soccer ball in our lives, and we were a bunch of buffoons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. This is a small cage where a woman would punch you in the face.
I think the athletic disparity here is too much.
This conversation is too much. I can't believe we're even going down this. I'm honestly shocked that you said that. I've been shocked at a lot of things you said on this show. One of them is you stuffing things up your butt on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
For gay sailors.
Marines.
This tops it, whatever. Any fucking branch in the military. I don't even care at that point. This tops it. I can't believe you said that.
I'm pretty sure at least sometime within the next 5 years we'll be able to afford to pay to make this happen.
I think so.
And at which point, once you're dead...
Chuck will referee.
Yeah, Chuck will referee. Once you're
Chuck
dead...
can special referee my fight against Amanda Nunes, and I want both her belts. If I beat her, I want the women's division titles.
We have to transition first.
Yeah, no, we'll give him two. No, he's earned the belts. If he beats her, he's earned the belts. I'll give you the belts.
You got to get bottom surgery first.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to.
That's the way it is.
I have talked myself into a corner.
Giorgio, I mean, this is fucking nuts, dude. Absolutely nuts.
You ask me every day now and until the end I work here if I could beat Amanda Nunes in the fight, and I will say yes every day that I work here.
I hope she shows up with Terry Blacks and then just says delivery and then just knocks you the fuck out.
Yeah, and she's got Paige Van Zandt's dog under her arm.
Yeah.
That she still owes us a dog.
Still owes us that fucking dog.
No, this is a 3-round or 5-round fight because that's very important when we discuss this.
It's one, and I'm taking the under of 1 minute.
It's a title fight.
Yeah, it's a title fight. Yeah,
it's a title fight of 5
Doesn't
rounds.
matter.
So I actually got to get in shape.
It's only going around.
Can I get on the sauce?
No.
Why you're talking about having to juice up to fight a woman?
No, just EPO. I just want to be tired.
Dude.
No,
none of that, Lance Armstrong.
Being tired is not real.
Yeah,
just a little blood doping.
No.
Jesus, you could try to Tour de France Amanda Nunes with your EPO bullshit.
Trying to go full TJ.
My God, that's fucking nuts.
I
dude.
think
Look, if she makes me fight her at 45, then yeah, it's gonna be hard.
No, do DMT and then fight her. That way your brain's all turned on. You won't worry about being tired because you won't know where the fuck you are.
It's true.
I guess.
That's true. And I think the cut to 45 might hurt me more than I'm thinking.
Everybody
right now.
takes fucking like Adderall and drinks caffeine and shit. I just get high as fuck and don't know where I am, and that way it doesn't matter if I'm tired.
I guess, Giorgio, this is going to be one you regret for a long time.
No.
A lot of comments on this one.
It's going to be on your headstone. It's going to be. There's not even going to be any words on it. Some dick got beat to death by Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a picture of her giving a thumbs up with Paige Van Zandt's dog under her arm.
And then someone else's dick.
Yeah.
Some dick.
I come into work, I have Amanda Nunes' photo on like my employee ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking your job.
Chuck, dude, the look on your face right now is priceless. If you're just on the audio show, I feel sorry for you. Chuck on the inside, there's shit you want to say that you can't right now, and I wish you would.
He's going to tell me after the show for sure. That's probably going to make me cry.
Chuckles, I think we get it out now to the world, to the public.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Moving on in the show to...
well, we all got Nunez, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's the lowest I've seen this is minus 850.
Are you bringing up when female fighters get in altercations with people, Dan? Is that what you're showing us on the monitor right now?
Yeah, this is Polyana Viana. This guy tried to rob her.
Holy shit.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
God damn it.
Well, he got that. He had that coming, I guess. He had a fake gun, too. What an idiot.
Yeah, she had real hands.
Yeah.
So does Amanda Nunes.
Real hands beat a fake gun every day of the week.
Seems like that is the case, yeah.
My God.
Yeah, I haven't
man.
seen even a parlay that's plus money.
No.
Like an under, over with her.
You can't
winning.
bet her. Like, that's the thing is, like, look, MyBookie, I love you. Again, MyBookie.com, promo code DrinkinBros, double your deposit. You can't bet Amanda Nunes.
You could probably get plus money
It's
on
too
some
high.
of the rounds or something just because it's such a crapshoot.
Every fight, though, was minus 1,000, minus 900, minus 800.
You just add her to the parlay.
Yeah, you can't, that's all you can do with somebody like
Well,
this.
this next fight, I think, is going to be one of the better title fights we've seen in
I
a
agree.
really long time.
I agree.
Like a better, when I say better, I mean like the
think
matchup
it was
is
at a
really good.
I think the last boxing show I was at, that was like I think that was the closest odds on the card.
The women?
No, the last.
Closest odds on the card was minus 800.
Yeah, all those were like plus 1,600.
The celebrity boxing? Yeah.
I was like, the show we were at, I think.
In Dallas, you mean? Oh, no, the one in Miami.
Yeah. Ocho
Yeah.
Cinco was the first
Yeah.
start of the main card.
Yeah. Dallas was Canelo.
Yeah.
That's right. Shit.
Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. Close odds on this. Minus 160 for Dustin, plus 140 for Charles.
A lot of heart in this fight. I mean, behind Cowboy, Oliveira has the most post-fight bonuses in UFC history, right? Which means shows up for every fucking fight, every single fight, always. And the last two guys he's beaten are Chandler and Ferguson, two guys that are also kind of known for that, right? Chandler being just a physical beast, and Ferguson is one of those guys you can hit in the head with a brick and he won't die.
And Kevin Lee before that.
Yeah. This guy's a fucking animal. But Poirier has also shown himself to be quite a skilled athlete. Not just a good fighter, but like a good athlete. Or, I'm sorry, not just a good athlete, but a good fighter. Like, he understands fighting pretty well. This will be a good matchup. I don't know who's going to win this.
I don't either.
I think this one could go either way.
Same.
Yes, this definitely could go either way. Looking up to their run-ups, Dustin, he's beaten every world champion. He'd be like 6 world champions. He's beaten Gagey. He's beaten Max Holloway.
Well,
he's
except
beaten
for
Conor twice.
Except for Khabib, but nobody fucking beat him, right?
The only person he's lost to has been Khabib. And
Is it Habib or Khabib?
Khabib.
This is America. It's Khabib.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
I think Dustin Poirier is probably right now the best example of American MMA, to be honest. His boxing is second to none. He's got a great sprawl. He's got, I think he's super good. Charles is dangerous. Charles is the most disrespected champion in UFC history.
Yeah, he's dangerous on the ground. He's got great MMA submissions.
He is safe on his back in MMA. Where like most guys, it's a neutral position or they don't want to be there long. Like he is dangerous with submissions. And like I just rewatched the fight against Chandler. Chandler rocks him. He falls to all fours. Chandler's hitting him from underneath. He's got good head movement. He's not going down. Allows him to get to guard and get to his back. Pulls his head down immediately. Hits Chandler with one that kind of like stops Chandler's onslaught. Chandler backs up a little bit. He slides to armbar right away. Chandler senses the danger, pulls back and is holding his legs now. Chandler's no longer in mount. And the up kicks right away. These super dangerous up kicks coming from Oliveira. So like everywhere he's safe, everywhere he's dangerous. And I think he can catch Dustin with the up kicks. Because when you look back at the fight against Conor jumps to guillotine. We are all going crazy in the stands. We're all watching this live. We think Conor is actually going to submit Dustin Poirier in this third fight. Justin walks over the cage, jumps sides. Conor gets dangerous with the up kicks. Like Dustin was a little sloppy there. He catches him with a couple. I think Charles falling to his back and the elbows is where he's going to see the advantage and that the transition between positions. Like we're not fully on the ground, we're not in standing. It's that little area in between that usually only takes a few seconds. And I think his elbows and his feet and his knees there are gonna take Dustin out of his game, and I think we'll see Charles win, to be honest.
Okay, who do you got, Chuck?
I think it's close, and I don't count Oliveira out, but I think Poirier is going to pull it out.
I'm with you. I got Poirier as well.
Which I think unanimously the world thinks Poirier is the number one champion. Like everyone thought he took the second fight with Conor instead of taking the title fight. Everyone thought he was next in line after Khabib vacated the title. Like Khabib himself even said that, Dustin Poirier was the toughest opponent that he had fought in the UFC. Dustin Poirier also had a split decision win against Dan Hooker, who has now vacated the division. So, I don't know if that's just a long.
Dan Hooker,
I'm not going to hate on Dan Hooker. I'm going to say Dan Hooker is a long striker with dangerous feet, dangerous knees, very similar to Charles Oliveira. I think it's a very challenging fight for Dustin if he can't win the boxing exchange and if he can't win the range finding exchange between the two and whoever wants to keep the other person in their range. I think it's just a terrible fight for him, and I think the disrespect on Charles has the whole community. Yeah, I think he's gonna come away with it.
He's a pretty patient guy, like you were.
Oliveira's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be an awesome fight.
He's not the same Charles
fighter.
Oliveira who got elbowed by Paul Felder against the cage. He's not that same guy anymore when he got put away like that. And I think it's his time. I really do.
What do you think, Holloway? Who do you got?
I'm taking Oliveira.
Okay.
I think he's going to win.
Okay.
I mean, I actually like Poirier, and I watched that fight with Khabib the other day, actually, just to see. It had been so long. Was it been 2 years since they fought? 2.5 years like that? I was like, what did he really look like against Khabib? And he was a lot more competitive than anybody else I've seen fight him. Like Gaethje thought he was coming in with a game plan, and just as much as with Conor, he dismantled that game plan within the first 30 seconds of the first round. It was over for him, right? In reality. So Poirier actually, I think he did all right. I just think Khabib's a fucking Terminator. You know what I mean? Nobody at that weight is going to be able to beat that guy. He's too goddamn disciplined.
He was the Amanda Nunes of the lightweight division.
He's too disciplined. I'm glad he didn't stick around, though. Like, everybody's like, I think he should have fought more. Remember, he only defended his title 3 times.
Yeah.
After winning a vacant title, not from a champion. So
No,
he won a vacant title.
The lightweight division was in a very bad place at that point.
Well, it's not anymore.
No,
It's
it's the most
fucking
active.
loaded
It is
now,
the
yeah.
most
Yeah.
active division, I
Yeah.
think, here. We're not even talking about Fizie's. You still got Gregor Gillespie there. Like you have a legit top 10 at lightweight. And honestly, now that we've talked about it a little bit, I think Dustin will probably. I'm envisioning Dustin getting his hand raised. I don't know why, but I think Charles should win the fight. So.
Well, look, it was 2-2. Delco, break the tie. Who do you got?
He's got DP.
I got Dustin all the way.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's got to
Easy
be.
work,
So
light
he's
work.
not going to win. Poirier's not going to win a decision unless it's dominant because he's the challenger, right?
No. But again, I get what you're saying. You have to beat it from the champ to win
Yeah.
it. In the mind of the public, Dustin Poirier is the champion.
And
right
they
now.
want him. UFC wants him to be
Everyone
the champion.
think he's just coming to claim the title that is already his. And I think everyone looking past Charles is going to be the biggest problem.
I think that's a big problem for Dustin Poirier. Yeah.
I don't know if he thinks that.
I doubt
The
it.
world thinks that.
Poirier's from Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he like a
Yeah.
fucking Cajun dude or some
Yeah.
shit? No, they've been poor for like 300 years.
Yeah, he stays in his
yeah.
roots.
Yeah, they're all hungry all the time.
Delco, what's the best value pick on this card?
I'm going to just say Dustin by third round knockout. That's my call. I haven't looked at the odds for that, but yeah, I would say third round knockout.
Okay. Any of these other fights that you throw money on that are worth it?
Ponzinibbio.
Okay.
I think Cara France is probably going to win that fight, to be honest. He's clearly a better fighter. There's just a lot of miles on him, so you don't know what that's going to look like in the ring. And I agree that the Garban's being kind of propped up by UFC a little bit because of the way he looks and behaves and shit. But that doesn't matter when the bell rings. I think this dude's going to light him up.
I hope so. I hope so. I would, yeah, I hope so.
Chuck, any upsets for you on this card?
I think we went over all the picks.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't know what the odds are.
Well, the odds, here's the odds on, well, it's not all on one page, but Poirier's minus 160, Oliveira's plus 135. You're not going to get anything on Nunez, Jesus Christ.
I might sprinkle some money on Paiva just simply for the fact.
That's the money bet. I've walked myself back from the beginning, saying there was better money, but yeah.
And here's the reason.
Plus 250 and O'Malley can't finish and Paiva's fucking tough.
And Sean just keeps doing public appearances.
Yeah.
That takes away from your training so much, and it's hard to do both.
And he's best friends with Jake Paul.
Yes. And so they've been hanging out. Tekashi 6ix9ine is his other best friend.
Not a good group.
Yeah, you better not do anything in front of that guy.
No shit.
Fucking rat your ass
No,
off.
and he's fighting a guy from the slums of Brazil.
Yeah.
like this is just literally.
Give me that dude plus 245.
Exactly. That's where I'm going.
After
with this.
coming back from a victory where he was starched in the first round and left for dead, and then won the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that fight. It was.
And Kyler Phillips is a better fighter than Sean O'Malley.
Oh yeah, Kyler Phillips. Yeah, that's true.
Chuck, anybody for you?
Well, That's the way you're saying it. That plus to a
250, yeah, on that.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's great odds.
Pull the money out of his wallet right now.
Coming down, and because of the weight cut, first time in that weight, it's always a little iffy.
Yeah.
That first fight after a big cut like that.
So Kai
It's a long
Vance.
way to go with that weight.
There we go.
I mean, dropping 10 pounds at that weight is a long way to go.
That is
10 pounds of mass, not water, mass. That's a whole
People
different
used to ask
fucking
me, why are you
ballgame.
down to
dude.
185? I'm like, because my lean body mass is like 203.
Yeah. Remember, was it?
I can't cut. I can't cut. I'd have to cut muscle to get down there.
Was it Dillashaw that cut like 28 pounds that time, and he came into the ring and like 20 seconds in, he was already gassed? Or I don't remember who it was. Somebody cut like a huge amount of weight in a very short period of time, and it was within the last year and a half or so. Somebody like top 3 person in their weight class. I don't remember who it was.
You might be
though.
talking about the fight with Cejudo when he cut to 25 to fight him when he got caught
Maybe.
with the EPO. That
Maybe,
might be what
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but he cut like 3 weeks. He cut like 20-something pounds or some shit like that. Like, no way, dude.
Look, now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week. Chuck, you've obviously been on the show before. Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
Who do I give it to?
Somebody who's inspired you or helped you become the person you are today. I forgot who you gave it to last time.
His grandfather. Last time,
Yeah. Anybody these days?
My kids.
Yeah. I've met your kids numerous times. Great kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to do good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
compared to the way that we all acted when we were your oldest daughter's age, she's like the best human being I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Like, we were all pieces of shit at that age,
Yeah.
for sure. She's like the most responsible fucking 19-year-old on earth.
Yeah, she's
How'd that
awesome.
happen?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Good parenting. Good parenting.
Going to San Diego State University, too. Are they ranked?
UC San Diego.
Oh, UC San Diego.
Oh,
They're
nice.
not ranked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not ranked.
Nah, they're
San
fine.
Diego.
Neither San Diego State
Chemical
anymore.
engineering. She's
Really?
Wow.
she's a
So
brainiac.
she's going to break bad at some point.
Yeah.
She's going to be driving an RV in the desert in Arizona or some shit.
In New Mexico.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, final question for you. With all the celebrity boxing matches that have been happening, we just saw Tito in one get fucking destroyed. I have to imagine.
Who didn't know that was going to happen? I mean,
We all
Anderson
did.
Silva, you want to go box with Anderson Silva?
We all
Boxing's
did. We called it on the show. Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy. His striking's okay if he's allowed to wrestle.
Right.
So you got to worry about him wrestling you. Without that, his striking's terrible. And
Anderson Silva is one of the best 4-point of contact strikers I think I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah,
And he used to be a
hit you-
boxer.
Any fucking limb on his body can fuck you up.
Yeah.
right. And his timing. He's got great timing power and great distance timing, accuracy. I mean,
That would have been an
he's a
interesting.
phenomenal striker.
That would have been an interesting fight in both of their primes, though, for real. Like somebody that's from a lower weight class that's that good as Anderson Silva was fight. Like he there's a lot of pressure on him to jump up weight classes, right? Like people were talking about it a lot in the mid 2010s. They're like, hey, why don't you fucking go fight this guy? It's like, because I weigh fucking 190 pounds, asshole.
But one would have to imagine you're getting a ton of offers for this right now. We just had Ryan Kavanaugh on the show. I mean, you have to be getting offers.
I haven't had any real ones. I mean, I'm open to it, but except for go out and box. I mean, especially if one of these YouTube guys wants to get knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean, but
You should have a booth, like a booth at the State Fair. Want to get knocked out by Chuck Liddell? And just got the $3 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like the
Knock your
old Gracie challenge almost.
Yeah.
Actually, well, speaking of which, I have an offer for Chuck as well.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Austin
fight
has now
arena.
Austin's become the jiu-jitsu capital of the world, basically. Everyone at the top league has moved here.
Tim's
I know
got
you're a black belt yourself. Would you
Yeah.
ever want to come when you're in Austin? Want to come to the gym, roll around a little bit,
Or open up
Or
a gym
maybe you
here.
should open a gym in Austin and move to Austin.
We got Nicky Rod here.
I'm only a purple belt.
Oh, you're only probably never. Oh, okay.
Never does.
Weak.
Well,
Jeez.
still better
Tim
than
Kennedy's
me.
got a gym opening up here in like a month or so. Whenever he's done doing whatever he's
Gordon
doing.
Ryan, Dan Donaher's
Yeah.
here, Nicky Rod's here, who was an ADC silver medalist. I mean, we've got some of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, and it just kind of happened overnight. So I'd love to get you to come hang out.
That's awesome.
Prince was purple.
He was.
R.I.P. Just saying, Chuck. Get in there and get another color.
Roman aristocracy.
It's kind of weird talking to you. That and the fucking Amanda Nunes. Hater over here.
Well, I mean, he can still go compete in Pan Am purple belt if he wants. He can go choke people out and win the Pan Ams if he wants to.
Okay. Well, let's find out, and then we'll have you fight Amanda Nunes afterwards.
Let's go. Let's start a new. Let's start a new Tough Man series where we just disguise Chuck as somebody new each week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he's just wearing like a googly eyes and mustache or something like that.
This is Dale. He works at Staples.
It's Dale Lytle.
Yeah. In Dearborn, Michigan.
It's just Chuck wailing on
He's
fucking
just absolutely fucking cake
insurance agents and shit like that.
Yeah. Be great. I'd pay top dollar for that.
Yeah.
Chuckles, thanks for being here, man. We love you.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's always a blast when you're here. Let's go get some dinner, kids. For D'Anthony Holloway, Chuck Liddell, Giorgio, Delco Dan, thanks for letting us hijack your MMA show. Go to mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin' Bros, double your deposit. I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.